Hello YouTube, this is the Dbtgamer Show, episode 199, and this is my Halloween special. Today me and Adam are going to review Castlevania Symphony for the PlayStation 1. Okay, that's my PS3 setup. Let's begin this review with the story of the game. Adam, take it away.
The story for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Well, back in the days of Dracula X, or Rondo of Blood, or whatever the hell you used to call it these days, Richter Belmont beat the ever-living tard out of Dracula, as is his job, actually. About 7 years later, is it? Give or take 7 years, decade perhaps, sod it, 8. Let's round it up. Anyway, 8 years later, Richter Belmont vanishes and Dracula's castle reappears, with no one around and with attack diagonally down, mate. Or you could just decapitate it, fair enough, smart ass. Right. With Richter Belmont being the only living Belmont, and therefore the only person strong enough to defeat Dracula, nowhere to be found, Dracula's son, Adrian Fahrenheit's Tepes,
Alucard,
otherwise known as Alucard, which I don't actually like the name Alucard, because it's just Dracula spelled backwards, lazy writing there by whoever wrote it.
Konami, you are lazy.
Well, it wasn't actually Konami that invented the name Alucard. I'm pretty sure it was around long before that.
No, well, they made the Castlevania series.
Okay, fair enough.
Who?
Didn't know you could do that.
No.
Yeah, with the most powerful sword in the game, you'd sort of perform a Hadouken, down, quarter circle forward, attack, and he jumps to the other side. But anyway, that's not important. The story, well, Alucard is the only living creature. Well, I say living undead. He's a Dampier, half vampire, half human thing. Is the Daywalker, all of their strengths and all their weaknesses bullshit. He wakes up after his slumber and decides, right, I'm the only one who can do this, so I'll go off and kill Dracula. I'll enter the castle and beat the shit out of my father. And that's it.
Grand Cross.
And how the hell he can actually use the Grand Cross is a mystery, since he's a vampire, so shouldn't that technically kill him?
Graphics of the game. Adam, what did you think?
The graphics of this game, well, look at them. They are pixel art awesomeness. I will gladly say this is what the PS1 was built for. Even though it's pixel art, everything is it's just one frame animation, and there's the quality of the animation in this game is fantastic. The graphics, awesome. The setting. I'm not gonna lie, I love this game. It's one of those games I will gladly pick up and play any time, regardless. And the graphics,
with glee.
I agree. I would like to say that it's one of those games that has aged well. It doesn't need fancy 3D graphics, but it's got 3D graphics. You just saw the Grand Cross there. The crosses are actually 3D animated sprites. Polygons, should I say. Everything else seems to be, well, sprites.
What did I think of the graphics of the game? I thought the graphics were really, really good. It's got some really nice 2D sprites and also some nice 3D sprites. Just epic pixel art awesomeness.
I would like to point out, yes, his health is actually 666.
Music of the game. Adam, you first.
Music for the Symphony of the Night. Surely with a name like Symphony of the Night, it would be sacrilegious to have anything other than one of the best soundtracks for a game in history. And yes, I will tell you now, this game, the soundtrack for this game, I found it on the internet, and it has had a one-way trip to my iPod and is never ever coming off it. This is the soundtrack to my life here. And I know it's sort of semi-romantic bullshit to say things like this is the soundtrack to my life, but this is the soundtrack to my life. I love the music of this game. It's especially Lost Paintings. If you ever get a good one, you're on YouTube. When this video's finished, type in Lost Paintings Castlevania Symphony of the Night soundtrack and listen to one of the best. I'm now a wolf. Listen to one of the best tunes in a video game, in my opinion, ever. Yes. Did you have to change back or did you run out of MP then?
I changed back.
Alright.
So what did I think of the music of the game? The music of the game is awesome. I also like Lost Paintings. I know one of my favourites is Vampire Killer and Bloody Tears, that's another good one.
Bloody Tears.
The Castlevania series has always had good music, and this game is no exception. Adam, what did you think of the controls?
The controls are... I would like to point out they are better on the Xbox 360 than they are on the PSP. Yes, this game did actually come out on the PSP, but it's not actually a PSP game. It is, hang on a sec, I will just shove this in shot there. That is the box to Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is basically an extra. You go through one level, you pick it up, you find it in a corner of one of the levels. But this is actually a high definition remake of Rondo of Blood, Dracula X, if you're Japanese. But that
Dracula X is actually the SNES version of the game. Rondo of Blood is the TurboGrafx 16 version.
You heard it here first. Well, you probably didn't, but fuck it, that's the first time I heard it. Yeah. What was I talking about? Controls. Right. The controls are... Well, yeah, I played Metroid. Those are the controls. That's it. The only thing I have a gripe with is the transformations. On this, Alucard can change into a wolf, which you saw earlier.
That's R2.
R2.
Bat is R1, and L1 is smoke.
The mist. Yes.
And L2 does nothing.
Yes. When you're playing with a controller that has 4 shoulder buttons, the transformations are... Well, they work. When you're playing with a console that only has 2 shoulder buttons...
Example, PSP.
Yeah. The PSP, you press... I think it's R to transform into the wolf, L to transform into the bat, and L and R to transform into the mist. Now, if you don't get them exactly right, you'll transform into the wolf or the bat, one or the other. And in a tight situation, when you're trying to transform into the mist to become invincible and float out the way of danger, and you end up turning into a bat, which has practically no offensive abilities whatsoever, then yeah, pretty
sure. Fireballs.
It has fireballs. It also has a rather complicated dash move, which I can never get to work. That's one thing I like to bitch about this game. The spells, they're almost impossible to do. It's the
Thank you.
I'll get to the familiars later. The spells, they are literally Street Fighter moves. One of them is sort of back, half circle, forward, attack, back, and that's I think that's Soul Steal. It attacks everything in the room and it drains health from everything in the room, which is quite close to the half circle forward, which is the I think it's Bloodlust or Bloodthirst or something like that. That just gives you health if you get caught in the blood splatter from a dying enemy. And it's like I say, in a tight situation, the Soul Steal ability is an absolute godsend. But if you get it wrong, you're dead.
What do I think of the controls of the game? I thought the controls on the PlayStation version were pretty good. Everything works pretty well, apart from the spells, which don't work very well, because I never really was a fan of the PS1 D-pad, and doing spells this thing, it just isn't easy for me.
You're also not that... I don't want to piss you off, but you're not that good at the Street Fighter special move, kind of button combination bullshit that you have to perform.
No, I'm not. I will gladly say that I am not good at those sort of games. That's why I play Smash Bros. Or play a fighting game. Gameplay for the game. Adam, what did you think?
The gameplay is basically the Metroid. This is the first of... This game actually coined the phrase Metroidvania. It is Castlevania in the style of Metroid. Now, Metroid being a sort of 2D exploration type of game, Castlevania has always been a level-by-level sort of platforming progression thing. You start up at one side of the level, you work your way through, killing things on the way, and you kill a boss at the end. This is... Well, you just... should bring up the map. That's the map. You start down in the bottom... Oh, well, not the bottom corner, but...
Sort of over here.
Move your finger a bit further on screen, mate. Yeah, that bit. That is basically the start down at the bottom left there, and the rest is a one huge level. It did away with the 2D style level by level progression, which frankly I wasn't a fan of in the old Castlevania games. But just FYI, this is the first Castlevania game I ever played. So this is to me this is Castlevania. Some of you old Nintendo fanboys will think, no, it's not Castlevania. Castlevania is the 2D level by level thing. No, this for me is Castlevania, mainly because first of all it's like
Parallax.
First of all, it's like Metroid, a 2D huge exploration backtracking extravaganza, and also it's a role-playing game, which I love. Yes, you level up in this game. It's a role-playing game, and you have a shit ton of armor, weapons, spells, and things to kill, and experience. You kill things, you gain experience. You find and use items. This is Castlevania for me.
What did I think of the gameplay? I thought the gameplay was really good. This is the very first Metroidvania game that I'd played.
Did you play the original style Castlevanias before this?
Yes, I have. The Castlevania games I've played before this one was Castlevania Symphony for the Nintendo 64. Go to my review if you want to hear more about that.
That was
a 3D sort of Castlevania. Yeah,
that didn't really catch on, really, did it?
Then after that, I played this one, and then I played a 2D one called Castlevania Rondo of Blood for the TurboGrafx 16, which I downloaded for Wii Virtual Console. It was really good.
Did you complete it?
Yes, I did.
Bloody hell, I can't get through. I will actually.
It's hard.
I will have to confess that I can't get through this PSP remake of Rondo of Blood, like at all. Even with Maria, I can't do it. Because to me it's not Castlevania. I keep wanting to kill things and level up.
Well, personally, for this game, I thought the gameplay was really good. I liked the RPG elements, and I liked the massive exploration aspect, because I love Metroid. So, yeah, overall I thought the gameplay was good. Adam, what was your good stuff about the game?
Let's see what I've written down. So, basically just point the camera at the game and say that. Okay. RPG elements. I'm a big fan of RPGs. Always have been, always will be, and just look at that. That is a role-playing gamer's dream. It got strength, con. Don't know what con is.
Concentration, I think.
Concentration and intelligence. Aren't they technically the same thing? Luck, experience. Time to my next experience. Gold. Yes, there's a fucking shop in this game. Time played. The rooms you've been into. Number of enemies killed. It's got a crap ton of items, weapons, and armor. Yeah, armor. Just epic. Next one. Not Castlevania. Yes, it's not the original Castlevania. I love that about it because I hate the original Castlevania style. I've got nothing against Castlevania. Just don't ask me to play it or else I will shove a controller up your nose. The level design. I want to call it a temple. It's a castle. It's a labyrinth. It is huge, complex, and highly detailed. It's what I want from a game, basically. I mean, look at the detail. There's stained glass windows and wallpaper. Even naked statues. Okay, I'm a fan of naked statues. Call me a perv if you like. I like women. Shut up. And
what about the second castle? The
second castle, it's basically the same upside down. Sorry, it is the same upside down.
That's really good game design if they made it so that you can actually play the game upside down and right side up.
The thing is, the game is actually this castle is actually designed to be upside down as well. There isn't a single place in this castle that you can't get to, whether it's upside down or not. Next good thing about this game, the monsters, highly detailed. So, okay, yes, I'll admit there are many fucking palette swaps.
Yes, the game is guilty of having a few power spots here and there.
Namely, one thing that really pissed me off, the skeletons.
Torch laser!
Yeah, you get a few skeletons, you get the normal skeletons right at the start, you get a few skeletons later on that have got a helmet and a shield, some of them have swords, some of them have different coloured helmets and shields, and then you've got one that's a skeleton, it's green, and it shoots a Kamehameha wave out of its dick. Yeah, fair enough. And okay, there are some monsters in this game that I wouldn't even known existed until I played this game. What the fuck is a Venus weed? What is a Venus weed? It's a huge flower with a naked woman in it. What is that? Has that ever appeared in mythology? I've never heard of it. And okay, what's next? The soundtrack. Like I said, it's the theme tune to my life. I love the soundtrack of this game, and as much as I dislike the PSP's, look, what is that? It's a suit of armor with a fucking wrecking ball.
I just killed it.
Okay, it didn't last long, but it's a suit of armor with a wrecking ball. The PSP, although the transformation and the spells are pretty hard to cast, especially with the analog nub. But it's a skeleton with twin boomerangs. Imagination. How can you make that up? Well, obviously someone did make it up, but hey, fantastic. The PSP has many extras. What David is playing now is the original PS1. It's a flaming dog skeleton ghost.
Adam, stay on topic, please.
It's a flaming dog skeleton ghost with naked statues in the background of a woman.
Help!
I think that one actually. I think that's an Asari, isn't it? I don't fucking know. That's an Asari. Yeah, Asaris. They appeared in Castlevania Symphony of the Night first. There's a statue in the background. Yeah, the PSP has many extras, mainly because it's actually the Sega Saturn version. The Sega Saturn version was like the director's cut. It's got a few extra rooms. I think it's actually got a full extra bit in the underground caves. It's also got an extra boss fight and an extra playable character, Maria Renard. If you like playing as Maria Renard in Rondo of Blood, you'll love playing as her in this, mainly because she's not a fucking kid anymore. She's actually got a decent set of tits on her, and she actually got one hell of a fantastic low-cut costume. But aside from that, she is one of the best characters in this game, aside from Alucard. And aside from that, it's a fantastic game.
My goods about this game, I really like the monsters. Very nice variety. Okay, there is the odd palette swat here and there, but there's a very nice variety of enemies. I really like the bosses, although some of them are really, really difficult. But the best tip I can give you for beating hard bosses is grind like hell!
Yeah, this is an RPG. If you're not going to grind, you're not going to beat it.
And the other thing I liked about the game was all the different RPG elements. I think Adam's talked about that enough already though, so I won't repeat. And the other thing I really liked was all the different sub-weapons. You got Holy Water, the Battle Axe, the Cross. I just love all the weapons in this game. And the other thing that you may have noticed are the familiars. Adam, why don't you elaborate on this? Because I'm a little bit of a novice on these things. Most of the time I use the fairy because I like the fairy.
Stay exactly where you are, because if you notice, the familiar has actually got bored and sat on your shoulder. And she just kicked her off, bloody hell.
Hey!
Yeah, what he is using right now, that little thing floating around him, is the pixie. She basically just floats around and points out. Well, I think she actually
points out hidden areas.
She can sometimes, occasionally, drift near a wall and say, "Oh, there's something strange about this wall." You attack the wall and it crumbles to have a hidden room behind it. Great. And also, you saw earlier, he actually got petrified by a monster. She broke out a huge hammer and smashed him, curing his petrification. So she will, given the right item, she will use said item on you to cure you. And there are certain items that only she can use, and certain items that she will only use. For example, she won't actually come up and throw a potion at you, or an anti-cure, anti-curse potion to heal you. She has her own set of items. In fact, bring up the menu, Go to familiars. There you are. The bat, which is absolutely shite. It basically it's a bat that floats around. And if you're not in bat form, it will ignore you. If you are in bat form, it will fire fireballs whenever you do. The ghost. The ghost is pretty much exactly the same. If you are, like I say, if you are just not walking around normally, it may occasionally float next to an enemy and pop, doing really minimal damage. But if you are the mist, it will go around and fucking massacre everything. It will go mad, or at least...
the sword kill a load of things for you if you level it up?
The sword is shite when you get it, but when you have these things out, you go out and kill everything, they earn experience as well. And when the sword gets to roughly about level 30, I think, it actually gains some intelligence and wanders around attacking everything in sight.
The demon, from what I remember, if it see it switching the wall, it presses it for you.
The demon is pretty much useless. It will go around and attack things, but the only real place that you actually need it is, I think you're actually in the area. So somewhere down in these caves there's a huge shaft and there's a switch hidden in the wall and the demon will attack it for you. That's another thing in the PSP version. The PSP version also has an extra... Yeah, I think it's just one extra familiar, the Sylph. She is like the fairy, she's a palette swap of the fairy, and she can and will use normal items. Like the fairy has to have a special hammer item to cure your petrification, and I don't think it's actually. I don't think it actually has an item to cure you of curse, but the Sylph will actually use a potion to heal you when you're low on health, and it will also use the fairy items. Salem Witch? What the fuck is a Salem Witch?
The other thing I realized about the game was the extra characters. In the PlayStation version, after you beat the game, if you type in your file name, Richter...
R-I-C-H-T-E-R.
You can play as Richter Belmont. The game's a lot harder because you cannot use the pause menu and you cannot use healing items. So you're basically playing...
It's basically back to Castlevania Rondo of Blood, but you've got this huge, gigantic level.
And if you're looking at the PSP version or the Sega Saturn version, if anybody actually plays those things anymore, you can also play as Maria, which is
more or less exactly the same, just with Maria.
And you'll find
the same as Richter, should I say? Yeah. Again, you do have minimal RPG elements when you're playing Richter, and
yeah, you can if you level up, can't you?
Not really, but you wander around, and as Alucard, you find these sort of glowing psychedelic pots which increase your health.
Yeah.
If you're playing as Richter or Maria, you pick one of them up, you actually gain defense. It doesn't increase your health bar or anything like that, but it does reduce the damage you receive.
Another thing I learned about the game were the map and the save point. It's a very simple map, but it does the job. Right, you two, that's all the footage I'm going to show. Now on to our complaints.
I just got to get this. I don't know, I just love the spinning coffin thing. I'm easily pleased like that.
Okay, our complaints about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Adam, you go first.
Complaints about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. How can I complain about Castlevania Symphony of the Night? I can complain quite a lot.
Blasphemer! Say it's to the internet over there.
Okay, sorry.
You cannot complain about this game, it's so perfect, can't complain!
Yes, I can complain about this game, and I can complain about it thus. There is bugger all in ways of story. Literally, it starts off, right, Richter Belmont's missing, Dracula's come back, you arrive, that's it. That's it, that is literally it until you fight the final boss, or the mid-boss if you like.
Well, there's bits of stories in between where you meet up with, like, Maria.
Yes, you meet up with Maria, and what does she say? Who are you? I'm Alucard. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it is. See ya. Bye. That's it. And at one point, I think Richter might be the bad guy. No, you're wrong. Runs off. But fair enough. That's bugger all story. Okay, I'll admit that Castlevania games weren't exactly rich in story, and this is probably richer in story than most earlier Castlevania games. But I don't know. I like RPGs to actually tell me a story. But and it's lackluster to say the least.
Next complaint.
The second and last complaint, it's easy, and I mean truly easy to get lost. The first time I played this, I must have been wandering around about at least 3 hours before I realised that key I got earlier actually opens up these blue glowing doors. Ah, god damn it,
Yeah, the game's a bit of a labyrinth.
And that's about it.
Okay, my complaints about Castlevania Symphony. Well, this game is not perfect, although a lot of people like to think it that way. My first complaint...
I'm picking things up to throw at him as we speak.
My first complaint is the shopping system in the game. In the game, you can buy items to improve your character. Fine, that's a good thing. But there's only one shop.
Yeah.
And when you get into the second castle, having to run your ass all the way back to the library to buy your shit is kind of annoying. Okay, there is the library card which teleports you straight to the shop, but then you have to run your ass back to the second castle and
Well, really, you'd have to do that anyway.
you know, I kind of wish there was a second. I kind of wish there were more shops in the game.
Like a shop in the second castle. Okay, the guy would be upside down, but yeah.
I kind of wish there were more shops so that I didn't have to go all the way back to the first castle. Yeah, that's my first complaint.
Okay, I'll let you have that one.
My second complaint is the infantry management in this game is shite. And
I'm not entirely sure what kind of bizarro logic this inventory works on, but it doesn't sort anything, and there is no option to sort it.
yeah, the infantry management system in Castlevania Symphony is just shite. Literally, you pick something up, it goes into your inventory, and you it feels like there isn't a button to sort it. Okay, if you have OCD and if you have no life and not that much time on and too much time on your hands,
that sounds about right.
You could pick up all the items individually and put them in any order you like, but it's so much busy work. I wish there was a button like in Final Fantasy V, you just hit sort, and I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy V was out by then.
I think so. It was on the SNES, wasn't it?
It was on the
Is it NES or?
It was on the Japanese PlayStation, and then it came to the English Game Boy Advance eventually.
Okay.
We also had Final Fantasy IV, but you know that had a sort button for the menu. So yeah, the infantry system was annoying because you couldn't organise it. My third complaint is the same as Adam's. It's very easy to get lost in this game.
Yeah, even with a map, it is quite difficult sometimes to actually navigate where you need to go. There's nothing that tells you where you need to go.
I remember when I was once playing it, I had to I literally had Adam sat next to me with a laptop on his knees saying, "David, you can go this way." And you know.
Yeah, when he bought it and started playing through it, I hadn't played it for a few years, so he's asking me where I'm supposed to go. Have you seen the map for this thing? How the fuck am I supposed to know?
That
So
was
yeah.
believing. Our rating for Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation 1, PSP and Sega Saturn is a 4 out of 5.
Yours might be. Mine's a 5 out of 5, mate.
Well,
It has its flaws, but the game it's one of those games where I'm willing to overlook all its flaws.
well, I can overlook a few things, but the fact there's only one shop and the infantry system and getting lost, you know, those three small complaints sort of make enough to knock up a point.
The inventory system I can go here with, but getting lost and there's only been one shop, well, it just means you get to see more of this fantastic, highly detailed castle and listen to more of the epic music. I'm okay with that.
My next review will be my 200th episode, and for that episode, I'm going to review my Nintendo 3DS. Ooh! See you guys next time.
Ooh, yay. Woohoo. See ya.